things that we need to get better at, you know, especially on the defensive side of the ball. There's a lot of things that we felt that we could have done better at last year.
You feel the team is, Coach, I talked about it being not as tough last year as you needed to be. Do you feel like that's changed?
I felt that after, really, before, actually I should say before that Florida State game, you really just saw, you know, everybody trying to take that next step. You know, the defensive line, you know, really turned it up. And then when they got in against Ohio State, you know, a good team from the Big Ten that can run the ball, you know, really they showed, okay, we can be physical too. And, you know, that's one thing, even this offseason, we tried to pretty much carry it and try to set the standard, you know, even for these incoming freshmen.
Jonathan, everyone talks about the SEC West and how they dominate defense, but is the East tougher in a sense because there's so much more parity? Perhaps the teams are a little bit closer together, and winning that division might be a little tougher just because there are so many teams in the mix?
I mean, there's a lot. I definitely say there's a lot of teams in the SEC, and really bring a lot of things to the table. And even in the SECs, you know, you got a Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, you know, even, you know, Vanderbilt's, you know, stepping back up now. You know, so it's really not a game that you can kind of, you know, lag off in and think, you know, it's a, you know, easy game. So, you know, it's, every game, you know, is going to be a battle all the way to the end.
Talk about not being easy, not just like opening opponent, but that next stretch where you got to go to College Station and then to Knoxville in back-to-back weeks. That's going to be a big test and really say a lot for your team.
Yeah, I mean, that'll really kind of tell, you know, where we're at. You know, we've been working on, you know, our conditioning and everything, you know, because we know we've got to start fast. You know, we got two teams in the beginning of the season. You know, they're not going to wait for us to, you know, get set. They're going to snap the ball regardless if we're set or not. So that's been a big emphasis really this whole summer. You know, knowing what you're doing, you know, regardless if you're tired or not. You know, because those first two teams, they're going to try to wear us out. And, you know, it's basically in the fourth quarter when it comes down to that, you know, we've got to finish.
There was a time when it was Tennessee and Florida in the East year after year, it seemed like. Is it a little irritating or a little concerning that you guys aren't mentioned maybe as prominently as a Georgia or South Carolina the past few years?
I mean, you know, we've had, you know, a down year or so, but, you know, I really think, you know, the SEC East is pretty much up for grabs. You know, teams they're replacing players every year. You see it even in the West too. You know, everywhere you go, it's just somebody replacing somebody. It seems like, you know, it's great players never left because they've just replaced them with somebody else.
Will you look forward to the challenge of going to College Station, playing A&M for the first time and being their first ever SEC game?
Yeah, I mean, you know, even Coach Muschamp's talked about it. You know, their stadium's just like an SEC stadium. That's one thing about playing the SEC. You know, it's never really a down game. Everywhere you go is pretty much always an exciting game. You know, especially just because of the atmosphere, you know, just around the game. And, you know, I know, you know, me and a lot of my teammates, I've been to Texas once. It was cold, so I didn't really enjoy it. But, you know, this will be my second time going, but I've never been to College Station before. So I know a lot of people are excited and ready to see what, you know, their stadium's like as well.
It's the unknown factor about A&M, though, the opponent. You know your opponents in the SEC. The next week you got Tennessee, though. But the unknown factor of playing them, is that what your main concern going in there?
I'd say the main concern is getting set on the ball. They ran like 100 and something snaps like in the first half of their spring game. And I think that's kind of ridiculous, but you know, their team, you know, they're going to be good. That coach from Houston, you know, I know he's going to have them ready. They did, you know, some great things at Houston. You know, so we really got to be, you know, ready for everything. We obviously know, you know, going to their first game, you know, not everything's going to be able to be shown on film. So, you know, we're not going to have that much tape to break down to them. You know, so everybody's got to be on their stuff defensively and, you know, just be ready to go.
Loucheiz Purifoy is a guy from our area. How have you seen him kind of progress in the secondary there? What are you expecting out of him?
I mean, one thing you notice about Loucheiz, he's fast. You know, he probably can outrun almost anybody on our team. And, you know, he's got the size, you know, that, you know, Coach Muschamp is really looking for in a corner. He's got the reach, everything. You know, it's the fact of just putting everything together now. And this offseason, you know, he's really kind of done that. He's getting better at his technique. He's really learning the game of football now.
Sean, do you know anything about Missouri, the state, the school, anything?
Nope.
If you could give Missouri or Texas A&M any kind of advice, I mean, the new kids on the block this year, what would it be?
Be ready for a long season. You know, it's physical. It's not going to be, just 3 or 4 games you got to get ready for. With this being in the SEC, almost really anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So just be ready.
John, who are some of the players in your division, in this league as a whole, that you look at, admire the way they play, or kind of maybe a fan of?
It's a lot of players, even guys, played in the Army game with, like Jarvis, it's good seeing him playing again. I know he had gone to USC and, things didn't go well. He had got an injury and people were saying he wasn't going to be able to play anymore. And just seeing him back on the field, and having the type of year, I thought he would have, from his freshman year. I thought that was real good for him.
Being a defensive guy, Missouri runs a spread offense. I know you guys have seen the spread.
Mhm.
Run it yourself. But what are some exciting things about going up a defense or going against offense like that?
Thing is just you never see the same thing every week. Every team is, running something new. This team may run a pistol. This team may, run more of the, shotgun power game. It's so much, that every team, can do and do differently around the SEC.
Yeah, Gator fans are not known for being very patient. What kind of things have you been hearing from Gator fans over this last year?
I don't really too much get into it. I know a lot of people are on Twitter and all that stuff. I don't really get into too much of that stuff. I just control what I can control, and basically go out, play as hard as I can and, bring my teammates, with me on the way.
John, would you be surprised if a team like Texas A&M in the West or Missouri coming to the East is able to compete right away or perhaps even win a division?
No, like I said, anybody can win on any given day. Everybody's got to be ready. It's no just easy cupcake games,